welcome to Night Call, a game where you are a taxi driver in Paris and must pin some murders on some people by discovering their life stories by simply being an ear on the wall, a friend, a voice in the background, more likely an ear in the background, while they're being driven around town in Paris. We'll see how this goes. Choose the investigation. We have the judge. All have something in common, and the motive seems clear, but which suspect could have done it? Balanced case, perfect for a first run. Random victims, unknown motive, weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. The Sandman. It may feel random at first, but there's a connection. Yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. Surprise investigation or random investigation. We'll go with the judge first off, because obviously I need to perfect for a first run. Choose the difficulty mode. Investigation will be easier, money, action takes less time for a chiller experience. We'll go with story for the first time, and then if I go to the next investigations, we'll go balanced. I don't know that I'll go for hard. Oh. I believe that's us. Yes. Oh, yes, the doctor. Here. Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Yes, it's fine. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma. The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were the victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police call the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver, and in most circumstances it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced. Her voice fades. You taste bile in the back of your mouth, your head is burning, you hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. Just incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry. Did they catch them? No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. What? Silent for a second, a very awkward second, she hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You cannot turn your head. You need to rest. She leaves the room, her voice resonating in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. He's... Another female voice joins in, a strong authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make up what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue. Some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you never really realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger, a feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, night one. Oh my. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. First night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Yeah. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. It always seems so far away. Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal. To clear my head. Stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I don't know. You're like a son to me, you know. I know. And you know he's going to have to tell you about the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. Could have retired, go back to the old country. Let him go on. But I decided to let a cab fleet for the money left you. Start a cab fleet with the money left by me. I had a guy from the neighbourhood. That's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. You want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. That's a good idea. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go and pick him up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. Say nothing. Other fares, you'll look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then, you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. And that's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers, and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. That's all. Pretty simple. No reason why you can't do it. Oh, right. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You may not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're gonna do a good job. What's the matter? The boss keeps quiet for a while as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer's still out there and we think he's coming back. For you. Maybe. If Bars pulls himself up a little straighter, you can sense he's trying to control himself, trying not to get upset. Maybe we've been told to go easy on you. He holds your gaze, then turns away. You know, I could put you on the day shift, or we'll send you out to the suburbs, away from it all. You shake your head no. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. The sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right. You have a good evening too. You'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key into the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you missed that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life, despite the attack, despite it all. Omar. So it's 22, so roughly 10 p.m. That looks like a monkey, although I'm guessing it's not. Got an old man, old lady, younger woman, middle-aged woman. The girl looks homeless. Don't know, and then Asian woman. With short, bobbed hair. Let's go for the old man. François de la Nere. Darnase. 5 kilometers, 17-euro fare. Sure. You immediately recognize the next passenger getting into your taxi. You never watch television, rarely listen to the radio, you don't read the newspaper, and yet you know François de Nere's face. Polemicist, novelist, columnist, politician, too, you think. Your passenger distractedly gives you his address. You start driving. He appears to be out of breath. His voice and hands are shaking. Unbelievable! Separates each syllable. Unbelievable! As if it's going to protect him from the violence around him. Unbelievable! I don't think he wants me to talk to him here. I'm surprised you of all people aren't speaking up. I'm surprised you of all people aren't speaking up. He raises his voice. He becomes screechy. They're going to take your job away with the electric cars driven by robots. That is what I'm talking about. Electric cars! A mere 5 minutes ago I wanted to cross the street. Suddenly slicing through the darkness and deafening silence came. An electric car! Its asphalt-coated tires drove right over the tip of my loafer. It's shot I could tear. The leather is compromised and streaked with mud and soot. It's a travesty, a travesty! Begins writing furiously. You catch a few words from time to time. What for? For the environment. Create more road deaths. Save polar bears. Leaves you hanging for a second before grinning. Another badly thought out stunt from the snowflake hipster lobby. Electric planes that would crash into Charles de Gaulle Airport without a sound. You hear a throaty laugh. The Earth? Safe, intact, clean. But at what cost? No way, Jose. Our planet produces oil, so we must use it. It would be unnatural not to. Unnatural indeed. He chuckles rudely. Rise up in defense of the sweet purr of the convertible, just as they would be the hoot of an owl in danger of extinction in the lost forests of Champagne. Oh, murderer, it's a saw! The fierce silence meant to oppress us. Puts down his notebook. A wolfish grin spreads across his face. Yes, magnificent editorial. Just magnifique. What about you? Would you like to have a silent car? No. See? I'm not the least bit surprised. And if taxi drivers don't like them, then something is definitely wrong with this world. Seriously though, going to be straight with you, no bells and whistles. God's honest truth. A city without noise is not a city. Mark my words. You drive in silence for a few minutes. In the back seat, the polemicist is fuming. You catch occasional snippets of nonsense. The taxi's almost reached your passenger's place. We're about halfway there, actually. It's just here. Pull up in front of his address, an old building freshly renovated. On the top floor, the bay's windows shine faintly in the darkness as the Eiffel Tower's spotlight washes over them. Your passenger sighs.
All the devils, the fools! It's the middle of the night and they're still having the time of their lives.
He opens the window on his side and screams at the packed cafe. The heated patios filled with young people, well dressed and quite drunk.
When will you cease this madness?
Then turns to you to whisper as if in secret.
Every night they make one hell of a workout. Impossible to get a wink of sleep.
He pays, gets out of the car, and is in front of the bar in 3 angry leaps. You hear his voice from far away. A few words and some outdated swearing with a whiff of senility. You stop listening and drive off. Very nice. Hey, I got a nice tip from that too. 20 euros from that. I'm sorry, is that a cat? Is that a cat? Oh, well, I know where we gotta go next. No, wait. You got coffee with Eddie here. No, it was with Eddie. Croaky! You pull up to a sidewalk and wait for your passenger. Since it looks like a no-show, you get out of the cab after a minute or two to smoke a cigarette. Not much going on in a small town in the suburbs. Few apartments still have lights on. Sweet scent hangs in the air. Eventually, you stub out your cigarette and get back into the car. You jump, startled. A cat slipped into your cab. It's sitting on the back seat staring at you intently. You sit there for a moment, considering whether or not to shoo it away. But just as you're about to wave your hand, the cat shifts its position and slips you a paper that flows out from its collar. You pick up the paper and unfold it. A fragment of a map of Paris, the Saint-Lazare train station. You turn your eyes slowly to the cat. Seems to be expecting an answer. You going somewhere? As if to say yes, it tilts its head to the side. You wanna go to Saint-Lazare? The cat tilts its head again. Are you a dog? The cat slowly nods its head no. Your hands clutch the wheel tightly. What the hell's going on? Turn around to face the cat. Fine, I'll take you. Fine. Start talking to yourself in low tones as if to balance the conversation. Normal. Perfectly normal. Start the cab, but cast a glance at the cab behind you. You're the one who ordered the cab. You start to laugh. A few minutes go by as you try to break the ice. Simple questions are probably best. Everything okay? Neither a yes or a no, more of a plaintive meow. Are you meeting someone? No, that's not it. Kind of staring at you. Conversation seems to bore him. Seem to be well fed. Pretty strange, I must say. Someone hurt you. A plaintive meow, you sigh. Your owner? Another meow, but long and deeper, more heartfelt. Nod your head. Was it a man? No answer. Woman? What's she mean to you? Cat seems to be uncertain. Other cats look full of disbelief. No, that's not it, eh? You're independent. Like to be alone, right? Isn't around for you? For instance, your owner's never home, you're bored, you want to spend more time playing. If cats could roll their eyes, he would have. Yeah, he doesn't seem to like talking anymore. Turns his head away, looking out the street window. You're not far now, after the next light. Point to a light in the distance. We'll be there soon, that's Saint-Lazare. Stop at the drop-off area in front of the station. First train doesn't leave for another hour. Where are you going? Cat stares at you without making a noise. Let him go. Get out of the cab and open the back door. A bill has appeared in the seat next to the cat. It's enough for the fare and more. Aren't you full of surprises? I won't ask you where it came from. You smile and lean over to pet the cat. Leaps out of the car and darts between your legs. You can just make out the shape of it dashing up a flight of stairs and slipping between the bars of a gate. You get back in the car. You look at yourself in the rearview mirror. Your features are heavy with fatigue, right eyelid twitching. As you start the car, you remember you're allergic to cats, but you haven't sneezed once. You pull out of the station. Oh, I got a 5-cent tip. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night. Boussette. For a second you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. She grins at you, her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it, so I was sure you lied to us. Just a cold sneer on her face. I'm gonna be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you, but not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No. I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17. An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder, too. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. They get word of your time served, no loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning, no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance at life. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance at life. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info, victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. Never done this. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just here to get me more information. She rummages around her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any more info. She takes on a didact, paternalistic tone, like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you done time. No. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. She acknowledges your silence with a nod. I think you've got a handle on our little deal. Any problems? I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their place searched. We put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. Have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. Say nothing. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking fucking life with a bang. I can't botch this case. You got me, and neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. You ripped open your gut, you saw your own insides, you were in a coma. You have plenty of reasons why you might want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, aye. Don't get fired. Well, this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glared her. Oh, don't interrogate, don't antagonize, sorry. For what it's worth, it was a pleasure not to be interrupted every other minute. Can't imagine how much I missed that at work. She puts up her hand, you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone, obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. Sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the backseat, the cough left a file of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You'll find them at the back of your studio after your shift. 6 clues discovered available in your room. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Bousset gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up the photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of it. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives, understand how he or she got into this situation. Steps in the hallway. Stop in front of your door, then move away. It's time to get moving on your investigation. Okay, so we've got the killer case, the autopsy report, on victim 3 and 4. If we go up to the board, we have Claudia Campos, a medical examiner in Paris. She escaped from Argentina when she was young, lost her parents to the Argentinian junta in the process. We have Hervé Gallo, homeless man with an unknown background, worked for Charles Bourgrain. Victim 2 in the 90s. Arrested for breaking and entering a couple times. Health issues after the health scandal of Rick Doden. Paul-Marie Fragonard. Retired cop, joined the force in 1977, divorced from a judge and born in the French Antilles. Moved to mainland France in 1976. Celine Woodian, well-known lawyer from Saint-Ouen. Defender on the Voyeur case. Defender of several molested kids in poor neighborhoods. Was a promising football player when he was 10. Dad was a cop, Pierre Bataille. Died 2 years ago. Mom got health issues after the Rick Doden health scandal. Gay in a relationship, never discloses information at work. We have the autopsy report of victim 3. 2 clues discovered. So we're gonna investigate all these. these pictures. So we go back up to the board. Oh shit, let me move these around. Anything that doesn't have a connection, we're gonna throw down over here. Anything that does have a connection, we move up. So the height actually matches a bunch of them. Time is up. Oh, they all match the height, I see. So, hold on. Okay, the Richter and health scandal. Health issues after. Health issues after. So this has to do with the health scandal. Justice, of course, a lawyer. Weapons, a rare gun used in the 70s. He said he was a cop in the 70s, of course. Time is up. She's the only one with that. She escaped Argentina. So what we need to look for right now is anything about chalk. There was no sign of violence. Death was an execution. Salim, then there might have something to do with that. See, if he's the lawyer, he would have reason to want to hurt someone like me. And he would have access to, cases. Maybe a fucked up vigilante. One bullet in the neck. Though that would also point towards Paul, because he has the gun. Well, not much else we can do right now. Look for things about guns, chalk, and violence. Open up the sofa bed and lie down. Events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. Someone flushes the toilet and you hear the pipes shake. One of them runs into your bed. You find the sound calming. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside your studio. Night 2. So now we have gas pumps.